Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Marie Huggins with the Mobility Collective, and I'm back today with another Power Five interview. And so today we have Hosea Bottley, who is amazing. Everyone knows him in this industry, and today you're going to find out why. So, Hosea, how are you today? You know, sorry. So, Hosea, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Maria. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Um,
Awesome.
I, I really appreciate you taking time out with us today to talk with us, share with us, pour into us. We're going to learn a little bit more about you. And so, to get things kicked off in the right way, why don't you tell us a little bit about who Hosea is? I know you've been in the industry since you were knee high to a grasshopper, right? So,
It's,
tell us
it's
a little bit about who you are, how long you've been in the industry, and a little bit about Aversal.
all right. Well, I'm Hosea Bottley, born and raised down in Houston, Beaumont area of
Uh,
Texas. Joined the Navy when I was 18 years old because I just wanted to get out of small town Texas,
mm-hmm,
and did that for 9 years. Got out, lived in Seattle for a while.
mm-hmm.
Was trying to get on to work with Boeing, never worked out. And one day, believe it or not, when they still had newspapers, I saw this ad in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas International had just bought Red Ball International, and I thought, hey, there's an opportunity. I need a job. Let me go interview. I did. I got the job, and I tell you, Maria, I was there 2 weeks, and I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. I knew it. Knew it right off the bat.
Oh, wow. And so
Yeah.
what was it about it that made you feel
It
like this
was
is
just
it?
so intriguing, the way it worked. I mean, a lot of people, I'm gonna say, especially minorities, they don't even know this industry exists.
Exactly.
And that's pretty sad. It's
Hmm.
pretty sad, and the minorities that are in it are working on the trucks or whatever. So they're
Hmm.
not exposed to the whole grand scheme of relocations.
Hmm.
So by me getting involved on the international side at that time, I worked there 3 years, and I was like, I want to get into sales. Everyone kept telling me you should be in sales, you should be in sales. But Atlas is an agency-owned van lines, so
Hmm.
you have to work at an Atlas agent in order to do sales.
Okay.
So I went and interviewed at Mitchell Moving in Seattle.
Hmm.
And after the second interview, he hired me. He says, I want to bring you on board and help build the international department.
Hmm.
So I got started, came on as a COD sales guy, and then 20 years later, I walked away as president of the company.
Now that's what I'm talking, making power moves, okay? Can I grow up to be like you one day?
Uh, I had so much fun doing it. I actually
Hmm.
built the international department for Mitchell at the time. And so um, the turning point for me was I always wanted my own company. I
Hmm.
always wanted my own company. But the turning point for me was in 2012, I had a liver transplant.
Oh.
So coming out of that alive really fueled my second chance on life.
Hmm.
I flatlined twice on the table, but here I am today. And so coming out of that, I'm like, I'm not wasting this second opportunity on life. Can't do it.
That
So
that is so powerful.
bear with me here. So I went back to Mitchell and I worked another year and a half, and I told my wife, I'm ready. I'm ready to move this forward. And I explained to her that yes, I'm in a position where I can cruise on in until I'm 65, but
Hmm.
that's not going to be fun. You
Right.
know, I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to. She goes, well, who walks away at 50 from a job that you're already in? I said, but it's not my company. It's
Right.
not mine.
Hmm.
So I sat down with her and we had a long talk, and I explained to her that opening this company, I already have accounts. We're not starting from scratch, in a
Hmm.
sense. So once I got her blessing, 2017, Aaversal, January 2017, Aaversal was born. And here we are today. And it's been absolutely amazing. So much fun, so much support from so many people in the industry that wants to see Aaversal grow. And we do government, we do corporate, we do small shipments, domestic, and we just hired our first coordinator in Europe. So we're opening our Europe division, and hopefully by July, we'll have our Asia division open.
Wow. To me, that was such a touching part of your life that I didn't know. It shows God's hand on your life. It shows what you can do with a new lease on life when, 50 years old and I've been working a job, and what? I can still go out here and I can still make the moves. And that's a story just in and of itself that needs to be told, right? Because how often do people get kind of complacent? You feel at this point in your life, everybody's ready to put you out the pasture. And so I'll tell you, from me to you, that your story is inspiring to me, to let me know that the limitations are only in your head, right? Only in your head. So thank you for sharing that. And so that's a big undertaking in itself. And so it would be fair if that's the answer to my next question. But over the time that you've been in the industry, what would you say you're most proud of in terms of the contributions you've made in this space?
Wow. To try to get more minorities involved and engaged. And now that I'm in a position to actually do that, hire these individuals and explain to them how this system works and what's out there, it just, it angers me in a sense, because when you go to these conferences, the minorities are not there. It's because they're not in a position to attend these conferences. I had a conversation with the president of Atlas a while back, and he asked me, how do we get more minorities involved? I said, well, first of all, you got to get them off the trucks. You got to get them out of the operations manager and as the GM. They got to be able to be a part of making these tough decisions, making the decisions to move the company forward.
Right.
And I appreciate the president of the CEO of Mitchell for giving me that opportunity, and of course I ran with it. I was no looking back when I got that opportunity. I think I scared him when I first took over as the GM title, because I fired like 8 people the first day I was there.
I know that's right. Gotta go. You get a pink slip. You get a pink slip. You get a pink slip.
Well, working there, I already knew what the problems were. So it was easy to transition and get the people in that I knew that was going to come in and support my vision. And so basically the same thing I'm doing now, but I've been very, very fortunate to find employees that had no experience in the industry and bring them in, and they're becoming power players, power employees for the company. I think I've had more problems hiring people with experience than without.
Because they've already fallen victim to those bad habits. They know the things. They know all the things. And so I know what I'm doing. You don't worry about that. Whereas someone who's more open and want to receive the information, you can do a little bit more work with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I've come to learn about you recently is more of an understanding regarding your commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? And so I would actually consider Aaversal being one of the leaders in our industry in terms of that kind of commitment and communicating that commitment. And so I would like you to just share with our audience why it's such an important initiative for you beyond the fact that you are a Black man living in America. Because I know that's inspiration enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's a whole other topic right there, I tell you. Um, you know, being in the military, where it's supposed to be inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
being in just in life itself, I hate to say this, but as a Black man, I'm always looking over my shoulder, and I'm trying not to do that. But that's where society has us from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always I want to be looking forward, but I'm always looking over my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate that. To be honest with you, I do. But that's just the way some of the cards that life has dealt me to that has me in that mindset from time to time.
Right.
But you know, um, when it's all said and done, though, it's the effort that we put forth
Mm-hmm.
that's going to make a difference. One of my what I love to say this all the time: if you're not giving, you're not living.
Right.
Because we're not put on this earth for us. We're here to serve others. And I think
Yeah.
that's the most rewarding thing that comes from life for me. I like to give, whether it's church to different charities. Um, we like to this year we want to do scholarship funds for minorities at the
Mm-hmm.
at the local school, high school. You
Okay.
know, that's what we want to do. We want to be able to give back to show that we want to be a part of this community. We are a part of this community, and we want to make sure that we can push as many minorities forward as we can.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge because if I could give a kid an opportunity that I didn't have, then maybe somebody else would do the same, and it just keeps moving on. If we all contribute, we can move a lot of things forward.
Yes,
But we got to work together as one.
we
Too many
do.
individuals. Too many individuals.
And that's part of the reason why I'm excited about being part of the Mobility Collective, because it's the collective, right? How much more
Collective.
you can get accomplished when there's not just one voice. There's 50 voices. There's 100 voices. When when you can bring people together who really agree on a common goal,
Mm-hmm.
you're much more successful. And one of the things I will say about what you just said is, I hate that that is the reality of looking over your shoulder, but don't hate saying it. You have to say it.
No, you have to say it. No, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, because it needs, there are several things that a light needs to shine on. Because where there's light, darkness can't be there, right? And so
Exactly.
it's important for you to feel that unction to say that even though you hate that it is the reality, that you have to look over your shoulder, right?
Right. Right.
Call it out as it is.
It
So,
is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
and so one of the things that I'm doing as I wrap up my interviews is ask the person I'm speaking with whether there is a Black history moment that's most impactful or meaningful to them, something that resonates with them personally. Is there something that you'd like to share with us today?
You know, Black history, I mean, all of it means a lot to me. There's so many individuals that has paved the way for you and I to be where we're at today.
Yes.
You know, so to me, I can't say it's just one individual. It's just so many that from Martin Luther King to God, it's just on and on. They just fight. They have fought and they fought. That's why it's hard for me to just sit back and not fight the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's just in a mobility session or having a conversation with an account, you know, to have them understand that. Um, Let me say this real quick. I hate when accounts approach me and saying, well, we're looking for a minority spin.
Mm-hmm.
I have to stop them. I said, let me stop you. Let me Aaversal Global Relocation, we're an amazing company.
Mm-hmm.
We have the accounts that we have because of the service we provide.
Right.
We provide 5-star service.
Mm-hmm.
We just happen to be minority owned. We just
Right.
happen to be service disabled veteran owned.
Mm-hmm.
Don't approach me with that minority spin. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if that helps you, then great. But look at us as you will look at the next other freight forwarder that's out there providing service for you.
Right.
That is what needs to happen.
Right.
You know,
It's a shift in the mindset
because
as it
I'm
relates.
not looking for a handout. I don't need your handout. I don't want your
Exactly.
handout. You
Exactly.
know, I want the same opportunity that you're giving the other guy. That's all I'm
Right.
asking for. If
Right.
I screw it up, I screw it up. But give me that opportunity. That's all I'm asking for.
Oh, I love that. And I actually hate that our time is coming to an end. Like this is so amazing, but
This has been awesome.
it's just well really it's my first true introduction to you. And so I just look forward to getting to know you even better, right?
Uh, Likewise, likewise.
Because your
You know,
story is amazing and it's inspiring.
thank you. Thank you. And by the way, I like that, the Mobility Collective. I really like that.
I do too.
I like that.
I do too.
I
As a
like it.
collective, there's much more that we can
There's,
accomplish
you
together,
know,
right?
oh my God, we can do a lot of things, you know,
Yes, sir.
you know.
So thank you again for taking time out of your day
No,
to talk to me and tell me and everyone else a little bit more about yourself. And just like that, another engaging installment of our Power Five series comes to an end. I know you guys hate the end as much as I do, but guess
I,
what? That gives you an opportunity to come on back. Come
oh,
on
I will.
back and learn about the next person. So
I will. I will. And thank you so much for doing this. I very appreciate it so much. Truly appreciate it.
thank you. And I sincerely hope you have a great rest of the day.
And you as well. You take care.